G'day, I'm Starlo.
And I'm Bushy.
And in this instructional video, we want to share with you an integrated system that has changed the way we go fishing.
It's a system that's won us tournaments, caught us more and bigger fish, and reinvigorated our passion for the sport.
So come along with us now as we share with you the secrets of squidgy success. Come on, mate. This delightful body of water is Malakuta Inlet in eastern Victoria, not far from the New South Wales border. It's typical of a host of southern estuaries stretching all the way from Fraser Island in Queensland to Tasmania's Derwent in the south and across to Perth's Swan River in the west. It represents the sort of waterway that a vast majority of Aussie anglers fish regularly for popular species such as bream, flathead, mulloway or jewfish, whiting and estuary perch, all of which are prime targets for our blue fox squidgies and for the system that we've devised for using them. Squidgies is a fun name that Bushy and I came up with a few years ago to describe soft plastic lures. These lures have been around for a long time, but it's only in the last few years that their use has really taken off here in Australia, as local anglers have started catching a wider range of fish on them in both salt and fresh water. Today we're fishing out of Bushy's tricky little punt with a bow-mounted electric motor, and that is a lovely way to go fishing. But don't get the idea that you've got to have a state-of-the-art rig like this one just to catch fish on squidgies. You don't. You can catch them off the bank, you can catch them wading along, fishing on a wharf or a jetty, out of a little kayak or canoe or any other kind of boat that you can get into, either drifting along or at anchor. Far more important than any of that stuff is how you rig and present the squidgy itself, and that's what I want to show you right now. I'll take one of these out of the packet. He's not bad. He's got one. Bushy, you are hopeless. Not a bad fish either.
Oh, sorry, Steve. I just had my squidgy in the water for 2 casts. I couldn't help myself. And look at this flathead. He's just engulfed that squidgy. Second cast of the day. Sorry, mate, I'll let you go back to explaining how to rig it.
You're not bad. It's pretty hard to get good help, I tell you. Bushy, just try not to hook one for another minute or so while I show the folks how to put the tail on the jig head. Right, now I'm going to take this one out of the packet. This is actually my last in a packet of 6 number 3 squidgy fish in the black gold colour, which I really like in fairly clear water. Now I've got an empty packet there now. I am not going to throw it over the side, and please don't do that. Take all your empties and bits of plastic home with you. I'll just stick that in my pocket. Now to rig this on the jig head and to rig any of the squidgy tails on any of the heads, it's very important to match them up correctly and get it straight. And the first thing to do is to measure the jig head alongside the tail like I'm doing there. Just put the nose of the soft plastic tail up against the lead of the jig head and have a look where the bend of the hook comes to, because that is where you're going to want the point to exit when you rig it. Now I'll note that that's about half a centimetre or less back into that little dorsal fin on the back of the soft plastic. So now I take it and I go right into the centre of the front of the head, just push it onto the hook and just work the soft plastic tail around the bend of the hook, and then I bring that point out as near as I can to the midline of the plastic, right at that point where I marked before, and just feed it round the bend of the hook and push the head up over that little wire keeper prong, and there you go. You can see it's lying nice and straight on the hook, and even more importantly, that hook is exiting right on the midline of the tail. Look, a couple of extra seconds spent at this stage can make a big difference to your results. That's ready to catch a fish now. I'm going to chuck it in the water and see if I can get one.
Now Steve showed you how to rig this lure, I'll show you what to do with it when you get it into the water. Now we have to cast it out, which I'll do. Just open the bail arm and just cast him out. Now once I've cast the squidgy out, I just let that swim down to the bottom with no weight on it. I just let it swim. And you'll see when your lure's got to the bottom, because your line will just relax. Watch the line where it goes into the water, you'll see it relax. Once it does that, we just want to lift that lure up about 3 feet, lift him up with the rod tip, and then just watch it so that it goes down again, and then we lift him up again. So what actually happens is your lure swims up off the bottom, gets to about 3 feet high, metre, then it swims back down to the bottom. Now somewhere along there, while we're doing that, hopefully a flathead will come along and grab that lure. And when he does, we'll see the line jerk. The line will actually twitch or jerk. If the fish grabs it while we're actually swimming it up, you'll feel him on, and if he grabs it while it's swimming down, you'll see the line jerk. Now, when that happens, you don't even have to be in a hurry to strike with the squidgy because it feels so natural, that fish is going to hang on to it. So when your line jerks, just think, okay, there's a flathead on the end of there, and then yank, stick the hook into him. Hopefully we'll show you how that works. Strike now.
I got one too, Bushy.
Not monsters.
Not bad flathead though.
Not bad though.
You'd be happy if you were after a feed, we're letting them go, but they're nice eating size flathead.
Oh, how much fun's that?
Look at that, just pinned through the top jaw, same with yours?
No, mine's just woofed it.
Oh, he woofed it down, didn't he?
I'll get him out. They might only be little ones. I reckon we'll get a bigger one later, don't you worry. But how good's this? These things really work, these squidgies. You have to trust us. Yep. Might be a bit better.
Oh, that's nice. He's going all right, this one. Oh, yeah, nice fish.
You clunk that.
Slip the Enviro net under him. That's not a bad flathead at all. It's getting a little bit more like it. Well, it looks like we've picked the right combination of jig head and colour and tail. We're using these number 3 squidgy fish tails in the black gold and the Gary glitter colour, which is great. But there is more than one way to skin a cat or catch a flathead. And I'm going to get Bushy to run you through a few other techniques while I pop this bloke back in the water, because I reckon we're going to catch them on the wriggler tails and also whipping with a shad. Interesting stuff. Off you go, mate.
Now, we've been using the little squidgy fish, but now we're going to rig up a wriggler. It's the same way we do it. We just get the point of the hook and go right in through his nose, and then we bring that out as close as we can to that central fin, and that means that everything is in line, and that lure will swim beautifully when we put it in the water. Now, I've got to tell you, something bad's happened behind me. He's hooked another fish. That's not a bad one, Steve.
That's all right, isn't it? I don't know why you're changing to the wriggler. The fish works just fine. Come on, fella. Steady.
Oh, you're unbelievable. Can't I even explain anything to anyone without you interrupting with a fish?
I won't even lift this one out of the water. I'll just see if I can keep him in the water. Just settle down, come on. Okay, that's it. Look, just in the corner of the mouth. I'm just going to take that out and drop this fish, and he's going to be straight off like a shot.
Oh, Steve. Oh, look at that. He's hammered that wriggler. I nearly had it back to the boat. Well, that didn't take very long at all. That fish has just absolutely grabbed that squidgy wriggler. These are one of my favourites, they really are, especially that natural mullet coloured one. He's absolutely just grabbed it, and I've hooked him straight in the lip. That's too much fun. And what you do find with these baits too, and I'm calling them baits because I reckon they're the closest thing to a bait you're ever going to see. When you actually see your line twitch, you don't even have to be in a hurry to strike, because these fish will just hang on to that bait. They won't let it go. It's just too much fun. The line goes twitch and you go, okay, I've got a fish. Then you strike and he's still on there. And another bad thing's happened behind me. Starling has hooked up again. Oh, you're a shocker. So if you don't think squidgies work, I can tell you this is just... This is awesome fun, and you go out and buy a packet of them, I reckon you're going to do this as well. You idiot, Steve. Look at the size of this thing.
I'll come in there and net that one for you, Bushy. Look at that. It's a crocodile. Oh. Now, I think you should explain to the folks that you're using a different rod and reel now and a somewhat different technique. I'll grab this fella out of here and we'll have a good look at him.
Oh, that's a serious
one.
one.
That is a flathead, is there?
Not a lot, no.
You've gone to the bait caster.
Can't you get your finger in there?
Oh, he doesn't want to open his mouth.
It's hard to get good help.
I'll give you your lure back.
Yeah, you'll notice that I do have a different outfit here. I'm using a bait caster, and this is a little Calcutta Light. And this is a different squidgy. This one's a squidgy shad. You'll notice it's a much slimmer plastic. And this one we use also with a slightly heavier head and a big solid hook. Now, this is a different setup altogether from our other lures. Have a look at the size of this fish. Isn't it a ripper?
I'll get this bloke back in while Bushy gets his lure back out there. That is a lovely big flathead.
And the way we fish these shads is different as well. We still let them sink down to the bottom, but we call this whipping. I'll run you through our whipping technique for fishing the squidgy shads. What we do is we just cast it out. Now we let that land and sink right to the bottom, but then what we do is we give it a good hard whip, and we just get the rod and do 2 jerks. Yank, yank. That's not Stephen Bushy either, the 2 jerks. And let it go back to the bottom, and then 2 more quite vicious jerks. Now, it feels a bit radical when you first start doing it, and we certainly didn't invent the technique, but these squidgy shads are perfect for it. And what that does, it means that your squidgy shad leaps up off the bottom in a big rush and darts through the water and then sinks back down. And there's often a little patch of mud or a puff of dust when you give that yank, do that whipping, and the fish are attracted, especially flathead, kingfish, even barramundi work on the whip technique. Double whip, and then next time you go to do the big whip, you'll find that something has grabbed your squidgy shad and you hook it. So there you go. That's just a different technique and a different type of squidgy. Well, this one's only a little tacker, and you'll notice he's eating a different coloured lure. This one's eating the 24 carat gold wriggler. We've got a whole bunch of colours that work really well in our squidgy range, and we don't claim to know why the flathead want one and not another one, but you just pick one when you go out there and try pot luck. There you go. Steve's got the little squidgy fish in Gary Glitter. I've got the wriggler in 24 carat gold. Who knows? Just keep trying them. One's going to work.
Yep, some days one colour will work better than others, but you need a few different ones in your tackle box. Don't get stuck on the idea that one colour is always going to work. Don't have a favourite colour. Find out what the fish want on the day.
I've actually managed to hook a pretty damn big one here. And when you are squidgy fishing, sometimes to get the best out of them, you can go a bit light on the leader, which was what I've done here. So the way to counteract that is don't pull too hard on the fish. If you can chase them around, if you've got an electric motor, let your fish swim around a bit without absolutely massacring him with the drag. And that means that you get a bit less chafe on your leader, and I hope that's the case. I think this is a pretty darn good fish. Do not panic. That is the big question. When using squidgies, do not panic, because you're going to hook more fish than you ever have in your life. Okay, well, here he comes.
Oh, what a flatty! Look at the size of that.
Oh, yes, get him, Steve.
Pretty happy with that. You've gone and changed colours on me again, Bushy. You've gone for the killer tomato in the squidgy fish, and didn't he nail that? Right there in the corner of the mouth, and it just goes to show it does pay to play around with different colours. You grab that out of there, Bushy. That is a beautiful, beautiful flathead. And the late afternoon sun's just coming out to light him up. And this sort of fishing is available right up and down the coast. You can catch fish like this up in Queensland. You can catch them right down into Victoria. Over in Western Australia and down on the south coast, they don't go quite as big, but you've got your various sand flatheads and your bar-tailed flatheads, and they're all catchable on soft plastics. They're available on the doorstep of our major cities, and they're for anyone to catch. It's a bonanza just waiting out there for you. Grab yourself a couple of packets of squidgies and some jig heads and get stuck into these fish. I'm going to get this one back in the water so I can continue breeding and producing more flathead for future generations of anglers. Ah, good stuff. Okay. That's a nice healthy fish. Oh, it's biting me on the finger through the glove. Let go now, mate. Oh, oh yeah, he's all right. Whew. We're having too much fun doing this. And these flathead have been a mainstay of soft plastic fishing ever since the first soft plastics arrived in Australia about 30 years ago. And they're still a great target on soft plastics and a really good beginner's fish for people just getting started on the squidgies. But with the finesse of the gear that we've got these days and the quality of the lures, nice release there, Bushy, the quality of these squidgies, we can broaden the horizons well beyond flathead. Are you ready for a real challenge? We're going to get our light gear, our small squidgies, and go chasing some serious brim on soft plastic. Smart anglers have known for years that the various brim species found right around the Australian coastline and in many of our estuaries can be targeted on lures. However, in years gone by, catching brim on lures consistently, especially big brim, was a tricky business. Not so anymore. Brim luring today is one of the fastest growing and most popular facets of our sport. It's even spawned its own dedicated series of keenly fought tournament circuits right around the country. In 2001, Bushy and I wrote a book on the subject of catching brim on lures and flies, and such is the popularity of this fast-growing pursuit that text has become a bestseller. I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear that a lot of the developmental field work on our squidgies, especially the smaller models, was done on finicky brim, and much of it in places like this, Malakuta Inlet. Now Bushy has got the sort of brim on here that keeps bringing us back to squidgy fishing. It's an absolute beauty. He's got it on very, very light line, just 2 pound line right through to the jig. No, he's got a little leader on actually, but he's got 2 pound main line and it's very light. This is a thumping big brim, so I'm just going to put my hand under the fish and look at that for a brim. Oh, and it's eaten a little Squidgy Wriggler number 2 bloodworm, and it's just back in there behind his teeth. I'll grab the pliers. That is going to come out so easily, and I'm probably going to drop him. No, look at that. Came straight out. The tail's in perfect condition. That'll catch another fish, and I'll get this big mama back in the water where she belongs. Oh, what a lovely fish. Just hold her there in the water until she realises she's free. Oh! That's what it's all about. Brim fishing with squidgies. I love it.
We've certainly caught brim on a wide range of our squidgies, right from the smallest ones up to some of the medium-sized ones, but I'll show you a couple of our favourites. The first one is our number 2 squidgy fish. Now that's been very effective on large brim. The smallest Squidgy Wriggler, your number 2 Squidgy Wriggler, that's a sensational brim lure. And one of my favourites is certainly the number 3 Squidgy Wriggler. That's a beautiful size and a beautiful tail to catch brim on. You'll notice that we have a wide range of jigs. These little ball-headed jigs we've got, they come in a number of different sizes of jig head and they come in a number of different sizes of hook. Now that can be a little bit confusing, but what it does is gives you a number of choices. Now, I really like this smallest one. This is the number 4 hook and it's got a very light head on it. Now, if I put that on the smallest wriggler, that's a deadly combination for brim because I can throw that in right close to the rocks, I can use it in shallow water, and that little jig head doesn't make much splash when it falls in. It's a very good way to catch brim. Also, we've still got a number 4 hook, but this one has a slightly bigger head. That's good for fishing those same wrigglers down a little bit deeper in the water column. Doesn't matter if it makes a little bit of a splash if we're fishing down 15, even 20 feet deep in the water column. So that's the way to pick it out, is just select a jig head that you think is going to work on your plastic, and it gives you a lot of variety and you can cover some different bases with those. Our whole range of squidgies are finesse plastics and they have to be rigged straight before you can get the best out of them. Now when we're fishing for brim, that's particularly important because the old brim is a pretty cunning fish. I'll show you how to rig this little Squidgy Wriggler. We just get our jig head, put the point right into his mouth and then run the hook down and try and bring it out just through the fin on the back of the Squidgy Wriggler. Push that on nice and neatly. It's not difficult, but you just have to take care to make sure it's straight. If you get the lure on straight, drop it in the water, give it a little wriggle, and if he just swims along perfectly, you know that you're going to catch a big brim. Now we've rigged the lure, I'll show you how to fish it for the brim. We cast it in, hopefully near where a brim's going to live, around some rocks or near a snag. Then I just wait till that lure sinks down, swims onto the bottom. The line will relax a little bit when it gets to the bottom. Then we just raise it up. We lift the rod up, make that lure swim up about 1/2 metre, then we stop and let the lure swim down the 1/2 metre to the bottom again. And if we keep on doing that and watch the line all the time, if you see that line move or twitch or shake, then we strike, and hopefully a brim's going to be on the other end. Sometimes I'll just get on there and you know they're there. But that's the way to fish it. It's a little bit subtle. We don't yank it too hard.
Oh, what a considerate man. He's going in to get my snag off, even while he's got a fish on. Okay. Now we'll go after your fish, Bushy.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, they're sluggers.
Whoa, that's a nice fish, Bushy. That is a big fish.
I think you better get the net, Steve.
Yes, I think I might net that one. It being one of the biggest brim we've seen in a little while.
Oh.
That is a very, very serious brim.
It's hard to get good help.
Look at that for a fish. Well, all you brim fishermen out there will know just what an important fish that is. That is a very serious fish in anyone's career. And believe it or not, and I know you're going to find this hard to believe, we catch fish like that every other week using these, using the squidgies. And you can see, look, the squidgy is just nailed there in his lip, beautifully pinned through the corner of his lip. And once upon a time, we would have regarded this as the brim of a lifetime. And as I said, now we're catching them on a regular basis, aren't we, mate?
Well, we've had about 3 that size today. Hard to believe though it is. Look, these squidgies are absolutely amazing, and they have revolutionised our fishing. We've put a lot of work in developing this little wriggler, and brim absolutely love them.
There you go. The only lure I know of that is more deadly than a real bloodworm is the squidgy bloodworm.
The Stevie wriggler colour.
I did actually come up with this colour. It was a bit of an accident. I was trying to get the manufacturers to make something different, and they came up with this one, and I said, I'll give it a go. We gave it a go, and we started catching things like that. So we said, yeah, look, we might just leave that one in the range, the bloodworm. It's a beauty. All right, I'll get this lovely fish back in. We keep very few of these big brim. In fact, we don't keep any of the real big ones because we think they're just too valuable a resource. So they all go back like that one. Oh, good stuff. Oh, he's making a big run too. This fish came from a sort of secondary drop-off, not right in hard against the bank, but where the bottom steps down from probably 2.5 metres down to about 4 metres. And gee, you catch a lot of brim along there. And it's an area that's very, very tricky to fish with any other kind of lure, except for a lead-headed jig. Oh yeah, he's a lovely brim. Oh, I never get tired of catching them. Never get tired of catching brim on lures. When Bushy and I were doing this 10, 15 years ago, chasing brim on lures, and when we were using hard-bodied minnows, we'd go out for a day, and if we got 5 or 6 fish, we thought we'd had a really good day. And I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but nowadays we'll often catch 20, 30, even 40 fish between us, with many of them in this category. And it's all because of the finesse tackle that we're using these days and the squidgy tails. Come on, matey. There you go. Nice fish. Once again, he's just picked it up. You can see how he's just grabbed it between those teeth, and when I've struck, it's just got in there behind the teeth. Brim are not an easy fish to hook. That is through the smallest bit of flesh in there. I probably would have pulled it out on heavier tackle. It is just literally through a sliver, and that is so often how you hook brim, because they do have a mouthful of teeth and a lot of hard places. Look, that fell out, just fell out like that. That little bloodworm. That's the number 3 bloodworm.
Oh, I seem to have a problem here, Steve.
Oh, and Bushy's got one on as well. Okay, I'll get mine back in the water and I'll give Bushy a hand with his. Looks like a good fish too, mate.
I think this one is a good fish. I just flicked my little squidgy out while Steve was doing that piece and telling you about his fish. And funny thing, big brims grabbed mine. Okay, let's go.
Let's go after him. This is not a bad idea either. If you've got an electric motor, and we're in amongst snags and rocks here, this fish has run out in the open, why not chase him? Get away from all this stuff, because he can easily turn around and go back in there. While you've got him in the open, make the most of it. They're a great fighting fish, brim, on light tackle. This is a good one, I think, mate.
He's fairly motoring, this one.
I'll pick him up for you.
You pick him up.
Ah, now, Bushy, you've changed colours. Tell us about that.
Well, I've caught them on a number of different colours. We certainly do like our bloodworm. It is one of the favourites. This one is actually the jelly prawn. It's a great colour, speckly gold, and the fish really love it. Any of the colours will work well on our squidgy range. It just depends on the conditions. This is certainly one of my favourites. And you'll notice that I've pinned this one just under the chin. Now that's where our jig heads come into their own. They're very fine gauge and very sharp. So a brim's mouth is bony even if you're inside it. Now if you hook him on the outside of the face, you really need a sharp little hook. So there you go.
Pop that one out of there, Bushy. Now, didn't you catch your biggest brim on that colour not long ago?
No, my biggest brim, 2.1 kilos, mind you, came in on an avocado squidgy wriggler. So that's the green one with the gold speckles. So there are a number of colours, and we have tested every colour in the range. They're all worth their place.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He woke up and took off. Oh, catching him on this real light tackle is just so much fun. This is 2 pound line, 1 kilo. Hang on, fella. Now, I got that fish fairly close into the rocks. We're casting within, a metre of the rocks or closer at times, and we do catch a lot of fish in there hard up against the structure. But the thing to remember with the squidgies is that you can fish them all the way back to the boat. Don't ignore that water halfway out and even closer to the boat that might be 4, 5, 6, even 7 or 8 metres deep. We still catch brim down there on the bottom in that depth of water, and you can fish every centimetre of it with these lead head jigs. I'll get this bloke in. Nice fish. I'll just go for the comfort lift. Oh, look at that for a lovely brim. Southern black brim, regarded by many people as the trickiest of all the brim species to catch on a lure. And that's one of the reasons that we refined our squidgies on these fish, as well as the eastern yellowfin brim and the western yellowfin brim. We fished for all of them, even the pikeys up north. These ones are regarded as the toughest of the lot, and yet we catch them regularly on the squidgies. We didn't just do it here in Victoria and New South Wales though. We also did some fantastic brim fishing with our prototype squidgies for brim in Western Australia. Have a look at this. Come up into the mouth of the Murray River on the houseboat, and we've come up to Pelican Point and picked up this little tinny, and they tell us that there are some brim in this water. It's an amazing system, the Murray. When you think about it, it comes down off the escarpment, and up there are trout and redfin and marron and all those freshwater sort of critters in it. And then as it gets down here into the tidal reaches, there are lots of blue manna crabs, some great black brim, even some mulloway. A terrific system. And then we're going to see if we can use some of our cunning East Coast tactics with our little soft plastics and catch some of these brim. The locals over here tell us that they're pretty smart fish and they might not fall for our methods, but we're fairly confident, aren't we, mate?
We're very confident. They work well at home.
Yep.
Oh, yes! Good fish.
Oh, look at this.
Start.
It's a fairly auspicious start.
Good start. What was it, about 5 casts?
Yeah, and I missed 2 other hits before that. Gee, a nice clean brim too.
Yeah, they're good fish, aren't they?
Beautiful fish. Middle of the day. Look at that. What a lovely fish.
Well, squidgy's right down his throat too.
Yeah, he's nailed it really well, the squidgy. Just bounced it a couple of times. I actually saw the silver flash as he took it. He's a really silvery fish, isn't he, for a black brim?
Yeah, nice looking fish.
Well, mate, I think we're going to catch a few of these, so I'll pop this guy back in. What a gorgeous fish.
They fight pretty well too.
Yeah, really well. I thought he was bigger than that.
Oh, you always think that. You one behind this snag. Yep.
Woohoo!
This fish has just bolted right down the bank through a lot of snags, so I don't know how we're going to go.
And the dogs of war are out. Nice bit of teamwork.
Good bit of teamwork.
Good fish.
It's a good fish.
The Squidgy long boom.
Yeah, the squidgy wriggler right down his neck, I reckon. Could be.
Be out in the open now, mate. So
The
just
whole
take your
team
time.
back together.
Yeah.
Old Murray River.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Haven't got a net either,
No,
have
I'll
we?
pick him up. Oh, Bushy!
Oh, yes.
Oh, what a lovely brim. Ooh, what have you got on here, Bushy?
That's the brand new Stephen Bushy Squidgy Wriggler.
The old prototype, and it worked, didn't it?
Yep.
Fantastic.
I think they reckon it's a prawn or something by the colour. I'm not sure, but they
Didn't
loved it.
nail it and then take off. He's a really nice brim.
Yeah. We're going to eat him or we take mercy?
I think we'll take mercy and put him back.
Okay.
It's too nice a fish to kill. He's probably
Okay.
15 years old. That's a fish of a good, 900 grams, I reckon. He's a lovely fish. Look at that. He's going to take off like a... Oh! You reckon the squidgies work all right here in Western Australia?
Mate, do they ever? I love this Murray River. This is good.
Great spot.
That was a brim. I think I've still got the tail.
I have got
He
one,
has
and
got
a
one.
good one.
Yes.
Look at that.
He's going to go. Beautiful fish.
Gee, they're good fish.
Aren't they?
Oh, yeah, back us out a little bit, Bushy.
It's a good solid
Just watch
fish.
out for the ferry.
Ferry will have to get out of the way. We've got fish. See, the fish or the ferry will get minced by the ferry.
Righto, Bushy, you can turn her
No,
off
I
now.
can't. We're near the bank.
Oh. Oh, Bushy, I caught one as big as yours.
Oh, that's nowhere near as big as mine.
it
It's a
might be even
baby.
bigger. All I gotta do is get it in here.
My brim would have eaten yours for lunch.
Oh, look at that. What a beautiful fish. Look at the colours in it.
My colours were better.
Oh, he's woofed that squidgy down. I think I'm going to need the long-nosed pliers. Oh, look at that. It just popped straight out. That's the nice thing about a single hook with a very, very small barb like we've got on these squidgy jig heads. They do come out very easily, which is great. Oh, like a shot.
I got one.
Hey, Bushy!
Oh, where these things go.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you'll have to drive. You'll have to
Okay.
drive. Oh, go hard. Go fast.
He's up on the
Go,
surface.
Bernie,
He's up
go.
on the surface. How good's this? It's like game fishing.
It is. This is a decent thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to get me, I think.
Oh, it's making bait jump in there and everything. Mate, what the heck is that? Look at it going for the snags. Sorry, Bushy, not much I can
I think I'm in trouble.
do. Maybe not. He's arcing around.
Oh, I think I'm in big trouble. If I get this fish out of there, it'll be a miracle job.
Done ya?
Not yet, but it's about to.
What the heck? No, no. I can see it swimming there. It's a big fish.
This line's only 4-pound monofilament and it breaks like that if you're not careful.
He's out in the open, he's out in the open. Take him easy.
He's out in the open.
Let's keep us going this way.
These brim
I tell you
run a
what,
long way.
That's a nice bit of fishing, Bushy. You did well there.
How
good are they?
I haven't got him yet, but he's a big fish. This is a big fish.
Real big fish. Is he taking line again?
I think it's going to jump. I think it's a striped marlin.
They get a lot of marlin here in the Murray River this time of year.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I hope we can give you a look at this thing because it's a really decent thing, I think. If it's not, it's doing a very good impersonation of a big fish. That must have run about 40 metres.
If it's a brim, that's the longest run. Yes, it is a brim, and that is the longest run I've ever seen from a brim. These things must be on steroids.
Oh, it had the little Shimano sustain just rattling off with the drag.
Singing that song, wasn't it?
That one? Come on, don't let him get too close to this side. He might go over here.
Oh, how's that for a brim?
That is a brim.
I'll grab him for you. Oh, Bushy. Oh, that's your genuine kilo plus fish, that one.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes!
Oh, that's about a 1.1 kilo fish. A really, really beautiful brim. Can you get that out of there?
I can. I can tell you, folks, that that fish is a bit special to me because these are the lures we're using. We've just spent about 6 months designing them and having them built. So when you can throw it in the water and have a fish like that eat it and you've designed it yourself, that's just a big buzz. Isn't that fun?
And it's nice to know that they don't just work on our home patch over in the eastern states, to come completely to the other side of the country, here to the Murray River in southern Western Australia, and catch a stunning fish like that on it is really proof positive to us that we got it right with those lures. And that's a relief. Okay, let's get him back in the water.
Woo-hoo!
As you can see, we were pretty excited about the early successes of those squidgy prototypes over in Western Australia. Meanwhile, back in the border country of New South Wales and Victoria, we're about to hunt some rather different quarry. Pushed a little bit further upstream in the system now. We're going to go looking for one of my all-time favourite fish. It's the estuary perch, a close relative of the Australian bass. These things are found all the way to far northern New South Wales, but their stronghold really begins south of Sydney in the rivers between there and the Victorian border. And by the time you get into Victoria, you're in the estuary perch heartland. Believe it or not, there are also pockets of them in northwestern Tasmania. These are a great fish, and we're going to target them using very similar techniques to those that we used to catch the brim, but we can afford to upsize a little bit because these are a more aggressive fish with a bigger mouth. So I've got a selection of larger tails here that I'm going to choose from, and I'm also going to use a slightly bigger jig head with a bigger hook. I'm going to beef up the leader on my outfit, and I'm also going to tighten up that drag a bit because when these fish get on, they go straight for cover and they're very, very powerful. I love them. I'll put one of these on, we'll go and flick it in amongst the snags and along the rocky shorelines, and we'll see if we can find a few EPs. Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. Give it to him, he'll get in there.
Oh, that's a nice perch. Oh, they're great fish, these estuary perch. And they're another fish that we've really refined our techniques with these squidgies on. Here he comes. Very, very closely related to the Australian bass, as you can see. Slightly larger eye and a somewhat scooped forehead, but they're even capable of interbreeding with bass. They're a lovely, lovely fish, as you can see.
What'd you catch him on, Steve?
I got this one on the jelly prawn Squidgy wriggler, and that would be a number 4 or number 5? Number 4, that one. Number 4 jelly prawn Squidgy wriggler on one of our unpainted ball head jigs, just bouncing it up and down, letting it drop in front of that snag and then lifting it, and he came out and sucked it in with that big cavernous mouth. They're just the barramundi of the south, these things, and Bushy's got one on there as well. He's a good one.
Get out of there. I love this.
Oh, you've got the big one. I'll grab that one.
Oh, they're strong.
Be able to show the folks two perch side by side. Look at the mouth on that. Got him. See who's got... Oh, yes. You definitely won, Bushy.
Turn him around, show the people. Do you want to use a squidgy out there? I think you might. Woohoo!
You grab that hook out for me, Bushy,
Okay.
and I'll get both of these blokes back in.
We love using our squidgies on these fish, but the big ones are the big breeders, and we just don't kill them.
Look at that.
That's too good a fish to kill.
Oh, look at that pair. Yep. Oh, they're ready to go. I'm going to let my little fella go first from underneath. And now, Bushy's big mama. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get another one. Now, just to recap, there are 3 different tail designs in the original range of squidgies as they're now in your shops. There's the squidgy shad, the squidgy fish, and the squidgy wriggler, and they're all subtly different. The shad is a thin profile, tough bait, especially good for strongly actioned presentations, whipping and that type of thing, and also very good in tropical waters where there are lots of toothy critters that can be fairly hard on tails. The squidgy fish is a meatier body and it has the belly flagellators and flaps that really make some noise in the water. We find that very good in any discoloured water or where you want to call the fish in from a bit of a distance. And the squidgy wriggler, which is a single tail grub, and it's the real finesse tail in the range. You can use it in the clearest of water and on the shyest of fish, and you're definitely going to catch fish. Now, to go with these 3 different tail designs, we have 2 different head designs. There's the plain unpainted ball head jig, and it's for light line applications, and especially those applications where you're going a lot of heads, perhaps snagging them and using them up because it's a nice economical head. But then for the power applications where you need the strongest possible hook, we've got the painted fish head, and it's got a serious chemically sharpened hook in it for handling big fish like mulloway, barramundi, snapper and so on. So there's a fair bit of variety there. Each of those 3 tails is available in 5 or 6 different sizes and half a dozen different colours. The heads are available in half a dozen different hook sizes and head weights, so you can mix and match and swap around to suit your particular needs. And there's no saying that this exact head has to go with this exact tail. If it looks right to you and it's catching fish, then it's working. Now, that's the current range, but we're going to be adding to and expanding it all the time. We've got some new jig head designs in the pipeline right now and some very exciting new tails coming up in the next few months and years. So keep going into your tackle store and checking out Starlo and Bushy's squidgy range, because that rack is going to have new things on it all the time. Oh, Bushy! Oh! How's this on the light gear? This is fun. So far, all the action we've shown you has taken place in tidal estuary waters, but don't get lulled into thinking that squidgies only work in estuaries. They're also red-hot producers out on the blue water, as Bushy and I discovered at Shark Bay in Western Australia during a trip aboard the charter boat Spaniard. I'd have to say pink snapper, not a real big one, but one that I'd spend about 2 weeks trying to catch back on the east coast. But here you just drop a soft plastic over the side and bounce it up and down a couple of times. Bob's your uncle. Pretty fish. Look at the sun picking up his blue fins and the pink flanks. Look at that! Not a bad fish, Bushy.
That's a nice
on the
fish.
Little single-handed flick rod and the soft plastic.
No, it's not a soft plastic. Now, get it straight. It's a squidgy.
Oh yeah, it says on the hat. One of Starlo and Bushy's squidgies, in fact.
I've got one too on my squidgy.
Good man. Yeah, I've got to see if I can get down far enough to get my bit of heavy leader. Oh, look at that, oh dear. That's the only trouble with soft plastics of any kind. They do get a bit chewed up. One fish, one soft plastic tail, but for about $1 each, I reckon that's pretty fair. Catching a fish like that on a lure. I'll hang on to that, bloke.
I'm only using really light gear. I've only got 6-pound gel spun. It's probably a little bit too light for this job, but it's just such fun. A little plastic squidgy down there.
Lovely fish, look at that in the sun. Gee whiz.
Oh, God, that's fun. I might ring up my missus and tell her I'm not coming home for a month or so. We had a really tough shoot over here. Hard to catch fish, Steve. Gee, they like that bright red one. Killer tomato.
I was only down there about 30 seconds.
God knows what they think it is.
Yeah, it probably looks entirely different down there too. The colours disappear pretty quickly, but...
We'll let this one go. We must be getting up around our limit anyway, Steve.
Yeah, pop that one back in, mate.
It's nice shallow water here, so it's easy to let them go. They have no stress.
Bushy, I've got one.
What have you got, a good one?
Oh, I don't think he's all that huge, but...
Getting cocky now, he is. You go over that side.
All right. Oh, he's pulling pretty well. I've got 10-pound fire line on here, so it's pretty skinny, but quite strong. 10 pounds, amazingly strong. You can pull fairly hard on it, 4.5 kilos, but the rod's just working nicely. This is a little single-handed flick rod, and we're in about 17 or 18 metres of water here, about 60 feet on the old scale. And as Bushy said, one of the nice things about that, if you don't horse the fish too much out of that depth of water, they don't expand their gas bladders, and you can put them back. If you want to release them, they're in pretty good condition and they just take off, go straight back down. In deeper water, it's a bit more difficult. Oh, what have I got? This is something different, isn't it? You wouldn't think they'd eat a lure at that end, would you, really?
Not really, no. Not unless you use it with a lot of skill.
Spangled Emperor, foul hooked. And what have you got on in the background there, Bushy? You just can't keep out of it, can you?
Oh, I think it's just another pink snapper, mate. Yeah.
Obviously that fish has been darting around having a look at that lure as I've lifted it, and it's pinned him in the tail, or somewhere near the tail anyway. We won't get too specific. You can go back in. Lovely yellow colours.
Oh, I can catch one of those too, but I've got mine the right end.
Oh, okay. At the pointy end.
Yep.
That's a... is that a black one? No, spangly. Oh, you do horrible things to that rod.
Ah, that rod won't break. We'll show you here too that if you do try some of these soft plastics, some people haven't used them very often. So we'll just show you that all we've got here is just a small leader. That's only about probably 15-pound monofilament line, just coming straight off your plastic squidgy. I've only got about 1.5 foot of that, and it's just tied on very simply to your main line, which is your gel spun. And the gel spun is very good to use when you're using plastics down on the bottom in deep water, because there's not much stretch and you feel a little taps when they grab the bait or when they grab your little squidgy. So it's pretty simple, short leader and just a little lead head jig like we've got on here. Drop it down to the bottom and just give it a lift up, and this tail will really wiggle, and often you get just a little jolt, just boom, or you'll even see your line move and just sort of do a big twitch, and then you know you can set the hook and you'll catch your fish. So it's just something a little bit different, and not a lot of people are doing it out here, the soft plastic fishing in the ocean, but it's a lot of fun.
Woohoo! Didn't he nail that, Bushy? That plastic was just sinking down through the water, and he's picked it up and screaming off. Oh, Bushy, look, on the surface here, something, I don't know, tuna or something around us.
I don't want to know what that was.
What a place. It's all happening.
Shark Bay.
Look.
What is happening?
I don't know, but it's a big fish and it's eating things. Oh, there's a whole lot of them. Throw a lure out there and retrieve it, Bushy.
Oh, dear.
Oh, they're all around us, whatever they are.
Whatever they are, will they eat a squidgy?
Oh, I never get tired of this. Light tackle, active fish.
Yeah, sorry folks, but we've run out of time. We've got to go for lunch now, so I'll just...
You keep your knife away from my line. Oh, it's a pinky. Oh, he picked that up while it was dropping, just steamed off with it as if it was a bait. They must look pretty realistic.
And they don't let them go, do they?
No, they don't. Lovely fish. Oh, I think he might be even slightly bigger than my last one. Hey, fish. Oh, look at that. Beautiful snapper. Oh, and I even got my squidgy tail back. He didn't chew it up this time. Oh, lovely fish. Folks back home, close your eyes. Brace you up.
Oh, that's all right for some people with 10-pound fire line.
Oh.
Against people with only 6-pound fire line.
Oh, especially when they only catch a red throat. Oh, you beat me. You beat me, but it doesn't count. Oh!
You'll be right in a couple of weeks. Don't you worry about that. You can get another leg.
Oh, what a pretty fish. Everything here eats these soft plastics. Look at that. Yeah, absolutely. When Bushy dropped his Chinaman cod, he didn't miss me with one dorsal spine on that fish. He got me with the whole lot of them. That really hurt, Bushy.
So they are 5-spine fish, Steve?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, there's 6 spines there.
Now, if this happens to you when you're out on the ocean, we cut this and I'll suck out the poison. If you'll believe that, you'll believe anything.
From the open ocean to the rocks and beaches, into estuaries, upstream into fresh water, and on lakes and impoundments everywhere, squidgies catch fish. In fact, their versatility and effectiveness is limited only by your imagination and sense of adventure.
We hope you've enjoyed watching the secrets of squidgy success as much as we've enjoyed making this instructional video for you.
We've only had time to show you the absolute basics, but once you get out there on the water, I'm sure you're going to learn.
That's right, you never stop learning, and in fact Bushy and I learn new things about squidgy fishing every day we spend on the water, and you'll do the same. Make sure you pick up the instructional leaflet that's available alongside the squidgy display in your favourite retailer, and keep reading books and magazine articles about soft plastic fishing. In particular, keep an eye out for this year's Shimano Annual. It's got a great feature written by Bushy and myself about how to get the most out of your squidgies.
Put a squidgy on the end of your line, a smile on your face, and just spend some time on the water. You'll be catching fish like the ones you've seen in this video.
I reckon you'll catch squidgy mania too. So until next time, tight lines.